Once upon a time, in a bustling anthill nestled deep within a lush green forest, lived a young ant named Andy. Andy was not the strongest or the fastest ant in the colony, but he had a heart full of courage and a spirit that never gave up. One sunny morning, as the ants were busy gathering food for the upcoming winter, a dark shadow fell upon the anthill. It was a menacing, gigantic crow named Claw who had terrorized the ants for years. Claw would swoop down and snatch up ants, carrying them away to be his meal. The ants were terrified of Claw, and they had resigned themselves to a life of fear and helplessness, but not Andy. He couldn't stand to see his fellow ants live in constant fear. He decided that he would do something. Andy spent days and nights thinking of a plan to outsmart Claw. He knew he couldn't do it alone. So he gathered a small group of brave ants who shared his determination. Together, they devised a clever strategy. The plan was simple but risky. They would create a decoy made of leaves and twigs, placing it in the open where Claw could see it. Then, when Claw came down to capture the decoy, Andy and his friends would sneak up from behind and surprise him. They practiced their moves tirelessly, preparing for the day when they would face Claw. As days turned into weeks, the fear among the ants began to wane, and hope started to grow. The colony saw Andy's determination and bravery, and they began to rally behind him. The once timid ants were now willing to stand up against Claw, thanks to Andy's unwavering spirit. Finally, the day came when Claw descended from the sky, casting a shadow over the anthill. The decoy was placed in plain sight, and Claw, spotting it, swooped down with a triumphant caw. But just as he was about to grab the decoy, Andy and his friends sprang into action. They pounced on Claw, biting and stinging him. Claw screeched in pain and surprise, flapping his wings furiously. But the determined ants didn't let go. They held on until Claw, exhausted and defeated, flew away, never to return to their anthill. The ants cheered, and Andy became a hero. His courage and determination had not only saved the colony from Claw's tyranny, but had also inspired a newfound bravery among his fellow ants. From that day on, the ants of the anthill no longer lived in fear. They realized that they were not helpless, and that even the smallest among them could make a big difference with courage and determination. The story of Andy, the brave little ant, spread throughout the forest, inspiring not only the ants but also the other creatures who lived there. It taught them that no matter how big the challenges, maybe with courage and unity, they could overcome anything. And so, the brave little ant Andy taught everyone a valuable lesson that it's not the size or strength that matters most, but the courage and determination to stand up for what is right. And from that day on, the forest was a safer and happier place for all its inhabitants.